And welcome back again to X-Men Legends. We are going to change up the party a little bit. We're still going to have one character with might and one character who can build bridges. So I'm going with Juggernaut and Magneto for this. You know, giving a little extra Brotherhood love. Going to boost Juggernaut's passives a little bit to give him stronger attack. Give him equipment because he didn't have any. I think he was one of the characters that I accidentally sold his equipment, but it actually kind of works out because the inventory is getting pretty damn full. And I will have to deal with that in a moment. Just doing nice even build around these people, throwing a couple extra higher level pieces of equipment on Magneto because he's level 15. 15's one of those cutoffs for levels for equipment, and throwing this on Cyclops because he's a high enough level for it. The level for like the rare character specific equipment varies wildly. Like there are some that they can't equip a certain thing until they're like level 30 or something. So this is one of the unfortunate trade-offs of trying to basically play everybody is equipment piles up really fast. So I'm going to have to start making trips back to Forge to sell off loose pieces of equipment. You see, I only have 3 open slots for equipment pieces right now, and equipment can drop pretty often in the area that I'm going through right now. So I want to try and sell off a couple of some of these things that nobody is wearing, which are usually like the lower level stuff that I've graduated from. But also selling a couple things that people are currently wearing that isn't necessarily like a strong piece of equipment. That way, when I pick up better stuff later, I can just throw it back on them when I cycle back through to that character. Okay, so we're back in the corridors. There's an exit right here that will go to the Nuwali Gateway. We do not want to do that yet. If you go to that point, you're going to have to end up coming back here anyway. So, might as well just try making your way through here first. If you remember in the past area, there was that moment where there were some switches you had to trip so you could safely grab like a Nuwali key from a pedestal. We're going to have to do something like that again. And you immediately go out into this big open area with a bunch of enemies in it. It's mostly shifters. You can see that they're level 17, and I have characters who are like level 13, 14. That's another thing that I'm just going to have to deal with because of my playstyle, which is the level gap can start getting a little bit wider as the game goes on. Because, if I remember correctly, I think characters who are on the field will end up getting more experience than the ones who are just sitting in reserve. Which is kind of why you see, like, levels fluctuating wildly between certain characters. So, I just hate enemies that back up. And that's going to be happening constantly throughout the game. But Juggernaut's just, like, default mutant power is strong enough that even this health regeneration character isn't going to pose much of an issue. As you see, we've already got a piece of equipment. Look, there's a Nuwali keystone on that altar. But it can't be that easy to just walk up and grab it. We'd better look to see if there's some type of trap we have to deactivate. So I'm going to show you both things that happen here. This is what happens if you just grab it immediately. Shannon, we found something covered in Nuwali symbols. Could this be one of the keys to the gateway?
The writing on it is in a dialect I don't know, but it looks to be a key of some type.
Then we'll hold on to it. It could come in handy later. And basically the same thing is going to happen. This time the exits are going to seal, statue breaks open, and you have the same enemy as before. And, I mean, it's just one enemy, but it's still annoying to fight because it can be hard to see. If you have, like, certain effects active on it, then you can see, like, the aura around it and be able to track down where it is, so it's not too terribly difficult to deal with. But I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do this time. And then get the key the proper way, because it actually does... Oh, another piece of equipment. Because the dialogue does change a little bit when you actually do this the way that's intended. So there are going to be 3 different points breaking off from the main room. And actually on the way there is a bit of a wall here that you can bust through. And that'll take you to this weapon cache, which means another piece of equipment. I told you, you can get equipment really fast in this area. And there's another wall here you can bust through and pick up a data disk. This one's kind of easy to see, because you can like see the point where there's like a hall and just a wall that you can pretty easily figure out that you're supposed to break through. And then this is even easier to find. There's just a comic book right there. Now the hunters are going to be the people who pop up a lot around like switches or key item pickups. In this particular room, they're really easy to deal with if you remember that the throw command exists. Because you can just throw a bunch of them off the edge. Now I'm not going to do that to all of them, because when you do that, it usually means that you're not going to be able to get any of the item pickups that they would drop. So this is really more of a crowd control maneuver. Like if things are really getting out of hand, if your CPU buddies are really struggling with the hunters that you aren't directly dealing with, then you can do that. So we hit the Guardian switch, and we're going to backtrack all the way through to the main room. God, Juggernaut is slow. Realistically, I could just pick Magneto or Storm and fly through everything, which is kind of what you have to do here, because there is no floor for this space. Now, once you're on the other side of this, first of all, sketchbooks. There's going to be a block right here that you have to move. And with Magneto's force push ability, you can just move it like that. I'm assuming there's metal in that giant block somewhere, otherwise how does that work? Now your allies can spawn on this side, but you can just fly back and then they'll automatically spawn again. So, now we've found both of the Nuwali keys. And that's it. Now you're all set to go. So we're going to go to the third and final path that's branching off of this. And make sure... There's a ton of vases and breakables along the walls that will have items in them. So you have no idea just how many minutes I cut from this part of this playthrough. That's just me walking around smashing open vases. And yet another piece of equipment. Just remember where the extraction points are if you're holding on to all the equipment, because man, it piles up really fast. And there's another one. Kazar, we made it into the temple. What now?
Well done, my friends. I have been told the vibranium is located somewhere in that area, but be careful. It will be very well guarded.
All right, team, you heard the man. Let's search around and see what we can find. And welcome to the Elemental Tomb. We're going to have a few different quote-unquote elements to deal with. And by elements, they basically mean different types of abilities that you'll need to be able to get the key items in here. There are 4 skulls that you need to get. And the first one here is surrounded by fire. So you need someone who can deal with that. Now, my usual go-to would be Iceman, but there's a little something tricky you can do here if you have Toad in your party. Well, first of all, I gotta level him up. But he has this mucus spit ability, which is usually used for like crowd control and extra damage. But if you have him spit on the fire, that puts it out. And we've got the fire skull. Now, every time you grab one of these skulls, you're going to have at least one hunter coming after you, but they're not going to pose a huge problem. Now, another thing about each of these chambers, where, first of all, there's experience points. I think that would be a beacon normally. Not exactly the most well-hidden one, but there is a path that goes all the way around the outer edge of each of these skull chambers, and usually there's absolutely no reason to follow them. Like, you would think those would be prime spaces for hiding, like, comic books, sketchbooks, beacons, data disks, whatever, but there's not really much of anything there. I mean, I'll show you if I do find anything there, but most of the time it just wound up being me playing map completion, which does not matter in this game. And there are a bunch of these like side antechambers and things with additional vases and breakables, and items can pile up really fast here. You have another space here where you're supposed to build a bridge to get to the skull on the other side, but if you have a flyer in your party, that works just as well. I mean, they want you to build a bridge, but there's kind of no reason to do that if you don't have to do that. Now, that being said, just by using the force, like, I call it a force push. This isn't Star Wars. By just using Magneto's, like, push ability, even though I was targeting an enemy, that built the bridge behind him, if you notice that. So, thankfully, there is an extraction point here, which I am going to have to use in a little bit to go back and offload more equipment. Because not everyone is at the level yet where I can start putting like higher level pieces of equipment on them. But with... oh god. Sorry, I just saw like a CPU getting close to the edge. CPUs like jumping off or falling off the edge doesn't happen as often here, but it does still happen. I did a practice playthrough where Magneto somehow fell off the edge and couldn't save himself. So, just going through, boosting some passives, getting some extra equipment thrown on certain characters, swapping out certain lower level ones for higher level ones, like this will really help Magneto's defense, giving him a bit of an attack boost as well. Toad, and going back to Avalon. I'm speeding all of this up, but I feel it's important to show that, like, just how important inventory management's going to be if you're not just picking the same 4 characters and blazing through the entire game. Now, here's one thing you do need to find, which is a Danger Room disc, and that'll be for the Gambit challenge. I will eventually get back to doing Danger Room stuff, but it's kind of a lower priority thing right now. Like, I still have to, because you don't find the Danger Room discs in, like, the order that you would expect. They kind of jump around a little bit. I'm waiting until, like, a certain amount of freshman courses come up, and then challenge courses, and then sophomore courses, and so on and so on. And then just gonna do, like, a few of them at once. So there's a tech station here for striking. Gonna throw that on Juggernaut because, well, I don't think I need to explain that. And then we're going to head through to another chamber. And for this one, I believe... I'm trying to remember which one this was. This might be the flying one or the strength one. It's one of those two. Those are the two that are left. And this... Yep, this is the strength one. So you just destroy these, which with Juggernaut... With Juggernaut is easy to do. So there's an unfortunate thing with Juggernaut's like big-ass punch ability, which is sometimes if you're standing too close to the thing you're trying to destroy, not necessarily enemies, but with inanimate objects this happens a lot. If he's standing too close to it, his punch will somehow go through the hitbox and end up hitting nothing. It's pretty annoying. I think it happens again with like a breakable wall or something later on. But once again, got more hunters to deal with. We only have one skull left to pick up. And by this point, the rest of the party should be getting pretty close to leveling up. God, sometimes you get like a stray hunter that's tucked in a corner somewhere, and then your CPUs start fighting, and you're like, what are they doing? Oh, right. So, this will be the final skull for the Elemental Tomb, and this is where I'm going to switch over to Storm. Fly up here, grab this, and there's the level ups. Well, I mean, Magneto didn't need it, but that does get Juggernaut to 15. The hunters there do start attacking, like, before you even grab the skull, which is, kind of weird, but, if you circle around, you can find another weapon cache. And yet another piece of equipment. Oh, and that's... Wait, I think Storm has multiple pieces of rare equipment by this point. So that's... It's gonna be fun when I get a high enough level that characters that have multiple pieces of rare equipment can get all of that at once. So, we have all the skulls now, which means we can now go into the middle chamber that we've been circling around this entire time. And when we get into there, you're going to see, like, a recessed pedestal at the top of the stairs, and at the bottom of the stairs there are these 4 different points. You're just going to walk up, put the skulls on each of these, and each one causes that recessed bit to gradually raise layer by layer. And eventually, when we get all of these in place, we're going to find exactly what we were looking for. Because when this game tells you to find something, it's never just go to this one place and find it. You've always got to do some other sort of puzzle solving or chicanery to get it. Kazar, we did it. We got the idol.
Ah, thank the Maker. Return it to me as soon as you can. I must hide the vibranium somewhere that Apocalypse and his horsemen will never find it.
No one will ever know. Alright, well that is our cue to head back. You can go here or zone back to the previous New Ollie area and then hit that extraction point. I think sticking in that zone and then taking the long way around to the extraction point is a little shorter, but whatever you feel like doing. So, let's talk to Kazar.
I never thought I'd be saying this to a member of the Brotherhood, but thank you. By returning the anti-metal to me, you've kept my father's secret safe. I'll be sure to hide it where it will never be found.
Who are you?
I am Kazar, protector of the Savage Land, but in England I'm known as Kevin Plunder.
You're from England?
I was born there, but I was brought here as a child by my father. He was a scientist searching for a rare element that could destroy any known metal. Shortly after discovering the element, he was killed, leaving me an orphan.
You grew up in the jungles by yourself?
I had quite a bit of help from various friends. This is no place to be without protection.
What is the Savage Land?
It is a wildlife sanctuary created by an alien race known as the New Ollie. They built it under the guidance of a race from another dimension known as the Beyonders.
So there must be some type of alien technology keeping the environment jungle-like.
Yes, but where it is located, no one is sure.
Why are you so angry with the Brotherhood?
Several years ago, Magneto came to the Savage Land and genetically altered some of the natives. He gave them superhuman powers.
Why did he do that?
He sought to use them as an army, to put all of the Savage Land under his control.
Talk to you later.
Only if we must.
I love that. He's just like, yeah, they kind of screwed up everything here. Oh, I'll see you later. So next time, we're going to go even deeper into the New Ollie temples and shrines. But for now, I'll leave you with this mission briefing for rescuing Beast.
Destiny had a most disturbing vision of the future. It spoke of the death of Beast, a victory by Apocalypse, and your having been betrayed by a teammate.
Tell them the future's a bunch of hogwash. Nobody really knows what's gonna happen. At least not with me, they don't.
I don't know about that, Wolverine. Down in New Orleans, I seen plenty of people do it. And they's usually right.
But she's talking about Beast dying. It can't be true.
Rogue, I made the mistake of ignoring her predictions and lost Genosha because of it.
Admittedly, this is disconcerting, but her predictions don't currently impact us. We are still planning on rescuing Beast.
But what if he croaks because we try to save him? Maybe he'd be fine if we just leave him be.
You know better than that, Cajun. We can't leave Beast in the hands of Apocalypse.
You right. We gotta risk it.
Oh, what about a prediction of one of us ratting the others out? Ain't we gonna do something about that?
An interesting point, Toad. But what would you have us do?
How should I know? You're the one with the big brain. You figure it out.
All we can do is be vigilant and report anything out of the ordinary.
Oh, I intend on keeping both eyes wide open for trouble.
Very well then. Godspeed.